A few months ago, I built a Telecaster guitar, and that went pretty well. So now I'm building a fretless bass. I came across a pretty good deal where I got a body and neck for $60 total, and I got electronics and all that stuff coming soon. So now I'm gonna start by working on the neck, which is probably gonna be the hardest part. So yeah, let's get to it.
So the neck. It was tough, but I wouldn't say it was the hardest part, actually. I did some research online, and I found out that a lot of people used a soldering iron to heat up the frets to loosen the glue, and they got a flat set of pliers to pry them out. Now, that didn't exactly work for me, as you might see, and I think it's because my pliers just weren't flat enough. So I got in with a flathead screwdriver and then got them started, and then I went over to use the flattened pliers again. So this was my first time ever actually seeing a fret outside of a neck, so I thought it was kind of interesting, looking at the tang and all that. And the neck, I knew I was going to have to fill it with something because it was pretty rough, and it wouldn't feel very good to play on. So yeah, we'll get to that. So now I'm just going through and getting rid of all of the frets and making a nice little pile there. Over time, it kind of picked up the pace because I got better and better at it. So I used some wood filler, some plastic wood filler, to fill all the fret lines, and that worked pretty good. It took a little time to make sure everything was all packed into each fret line, but it worked out, and then you sand off the excess once it's dried. By this point, I thought the neck was a little ugly. Like it looked like someone had used wood filler on it before, which was very weird. And I honestly thought I was going to stain it or something to make it look a little better. However, after this, it really started looking fresh, so I figured I'd stick a couple layers of oil on it, and wow, it looks so good. It looks so much better than I thought it would, and I was very happy about that. So, onto the body. This took way longer than I thought it ever would have, but I don't know, I guess I'm dumb. I used a hand sander and just went ham on the whole thing, making sure that at least the outer coating of the finish was off the guitar. I was kind of a bonehead and thought I had to get to the raw wood, but no, I don't think you do. That was silly. So the whole idea of this guitar came about when I saw it at a music store, and I've always wanted a green guitar, because I got a truck that's that same color, and I don't know, I just really like the hunter green color. So I came across this, I'm like, man, this body looks real beat up, so why don't I paint this and make it look vintaged and stuff, and I think it's called relicking. ultimately, I decided that I would start some of the relicking, but let the rest of it happen naturally. So all the parts finally came in, and here's me, taking all that stuff out. And these EMG pickups are actually pretty cool. They are just plug and play. There's no soldering required, which is a relief after my last project. Only concern was trying to fit that 9-volt for the active pickups into the control routing spot. I saw diagrams online that said that you can, but I wasn't sure that was going to work. It did, thankfully, because I didn't want to have to route out my own hole. That would have been terrible. The other problem was that the bridge pickup was a little bit too wide for the originally routed hole, so I spent a good amount of time just filing away at it. Here's me test fitting the neck plate and making sure I get the holes right. So what I ended up having to do was take some wood filler and fill the old holes, and just hope I packed it well enough to where once it dried and I start drilling, it's not going to cause the wood filler to collapse. It ended up working out, so that was a relief. Here's me spending some good time just filing away. I also had to file some of the routing holes for the wires. So now finally the neck is fully attached to the guitar, and now I'm onto the pickguard, where I wound up clipping off a part of it because it just wasn't fitting, and I wasn't willing to sit there and sand, and I thought it looked kind of cool, so whatever. It's done now, so too late. Now that all the electronics are mounted, it's time for a bit of a sound test.